So I want to focus on what's known as the empty quarter. The empty quarter is a huge area of sand that covers about a quarter of the Arabian Peninsula. Today, it's pretty desolate, barren, and extremely hot, but there have been times in the past when monsoon rains soaked the empty quarter and turned it from a desert into grassland that was dotted with lakes and home to various animals. But the empty quarter lakes disappeared thousands of years ago. They left behind their beds or basins as limestone formations that we can still see today. They look like low-lying white or gray builds, long, narrow hills with flat tops barely a meter high. A recent study of some of the formations presents some new theories about the area's past. According to the study, two factors were important for lake formation in the empty quarter. First, the rains that fell there were torrential, so it would have been impossible for all the water to soak into the ground. Second, as you know, sand dunes contain other types of particles besides sand, including clay and silt. Now, when the rains fell, water ran down the sides of the dunes, carrying clay and silt particles with it, and wherever these particles settled, they formed a layer that water couldn't penetrate. Once this layer formed, further runoff collected and formed a lake. So, the theory is, the lakes formed along the desert floor and the long narrow valleys between the dunes. This is a reasonable guess for the formation of desert lakes. However, we still need additional studies to confirm this guess. Now, in grassland lake ecosystem, we'd expect to find fossils from a variety of animals, and numerous fossils have been found at least at these particular sites. But where did these animals come from? Well, the theory that has been suggested is that they migrated in from nearby habitats where they were already living. Then, as the lakes dried up, they died out. The study makes a couple of interesting points about the fossils, which I hope will be looked at in future studies. At older lake sites, there are fossil remains from hippopotamuses, water buffalo, animals that spend much of their lives living in water, and also fossils of cattle. However, at these sites of the more recent lakes, there are only cattle fossils. Additional evidence for geologists that these lakes were probably smaller, shallower, because cattle only use water for drinking, so they survive on much less. Interestingly, there are clams and snail shells, but no fossils of fish. We're not sure why. Maybe there's a problem with the water. Maybe it was too salty. That's certainly true of other desert lakes.